This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank, create success, enterprisebanking.com.
Hello, and it's are we on? Look at us, we're live already. Nice. See, we got a new intro. Did you notice that? Nice job with the production of that new intro. We haven't updated it in a while, so I said, geez, maybe we should update that intro. And we did, and it came out excellent as we start our 32nd year of Inside Leominster. Can you believe it? 32nd year. The phone number hasn't changed in the last 10. It's 978-534-1626. We started with, I don't know if it was Twin City Cable, and then Montechusett Cable, and then Cable Vision, and we started on North Main Street. We left North Main Street. We, we briefly went back into my office while the new studio was being prepared on Manning Ave. Went from Manning Ave over to 435 not DuPont, yeah, DuPont, the old DuPont. And we were there for many years, and then built this new building right here, where we are now on Litchfield Street, Lancaster Street, right at the intersection across from the cemetery. So we start our 32nd year. We have guests today. We're going to be talking about the Rose Bowl Parade. Remember, there were 30 students and students from all around New England that went to the Rose Bowl Parade. And so we're going to hear and see firsthand, we'll get a chance to hear what it was like for them to be out there in the parade. That was cool. It was a 5.5-mile route down Colorado Boulevard, and it was called the New England Honor Band. But there were some surprises, and we're going to get a chance to talk about those. But first, let's go to the phone, because is Art there? It's
yes,
Art.
there is.
It's Big Art from the Art Report.
How are you?
Well, I got to start off with a question. Here, let me see if I can get myself centered here. Here we go. I have a question. Luke, a good friend of yours, Luke Connery, he wanted to know whether you're going to be out there ice skating downtown in the Common.
I was going to go down there. In fact, he was going to go down there because he's got triple runners to support the girth. And he did fall, and there's a massive crack, and he even cracked on South Street in Fitchburg.
Wow.
That's all been canceled.
This is getting serious now.
Yes, it was not pretty.
No?
It was not pretty.
Oh, you guys are tough. You guys are tough.
Yes, we tried.
I think we should set up a little drag with his hot rod and your hot rod and get some bragging rights going.
He threw me a shot about my road report. Of course, he threw the shot as he was walking by my car at Market Basket.
He did.
Now, I don't have to go any further. Because they got a picture of him on the wall there. No more all you can eat.
No more? The buffet? That's
now,
a good one.
I have to compliment the Department of Public Works replaced the water pipe on Judy Drive a few weeks ago. Not only did they do a great job, which is not a surprise, the finished product, the patch is the size of 2 kitchen tables. It's a big patch. Absolutely flawless. You don't even know you're driving over it.
Perfect.
That's how good they did it. And I'm guessing now, I have no idea, I didn't talk to them or anybody, but they patched it like day one, and you felt a little bit of a bump as you went over it. Mm-hmm. Then they came back the next day and did a finished product, almost like they let it settle. And it is still absolutely, you don't even know you go over it.
No, they know the big...
It's great. It's craftsmanship at its best.
Yes, they take pride.
Yep.
Take pride in what they do.
proud of the big L. That's all I can say about that. Proud of the big L. And is it a milder winter than, or is it me? I think it's milder.
Well,
no snow or
MassDOT,
crazy.
MassDOT subscribes to a weather service, and they said, like late October, beginning of November, they said it was going to be a little bit like last year, where we weren't going to get huge storms, but it would be a couple of inches there. It'd be cold, be a couple of inches. It would melt. We'd have to go out and sand and salt at night. Sun would come out during the daytime and melt it. It would freeze back at nighttime. Those kind of storms. And those storms sometimes are worse than a big snowstorm because you have to stay with it the whole time. The whole time you got to stay with it. You know, melt, it freezes, melts, freezes.
Instead of one big bash,
Exactly.
it's very similar to Luke at a buffet.
The buffet.
He doesn't go up and fill up 3 plates.
No.
He goes up 6 times and fills up 6 plates.
Yeah. That makes it look like you're not eating a lot.
It's volume. It's all about volume.
Right. It's not the trips you make, it's what you're bringing back. It's the poundage.
That's right.
It's the weight.
That's right. Having said that, I will say enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and before you know it, we're talking 8 weeks, and they're going to have to buy some touch-up grass seed and a few other things, you know.
February 1st is Groundhog, Pink Flamingo Day, when we find out how many weeks of winter we have left.
I'll be putting the house up for sale then, and a new future will start for me.
Yes. Yep. Well,
And that's another amazing thing when I look at what I paid to have this house built and what they're going to put it on the market for is absolutely, I'm still aghast. I can't get over it.
I'm surprised you don't already have it sold, you know, just word of mouth.
Oh, that's because we told them it's not being, other than me saying it, I haven't turned the realtor loose yet.
Right.
And she already told me, don't be surprised if they get into a bidding war. And she said her last 2 houses that happened, and the people were going back and forth, and the price just kept going up.
Well, that's because Art lived there.
So that's just a few more flames on the hot rod when I get it. Be well, my friend.
All right, Art, take care, stay warm. Looks
bye-bye.
like this is. I've never seen so many wind warnings. We have another wind warning for tonight, and I thought to myself, well, that's like every day for the last 3 weeks. It's been a wind warning and cold weather, and tonight's no different. They're giving us a wind warning. 978-534-1626. That's the phone number here at Inside Leominster, and we're going to take a short break. If you guys are ready back there, we'll take a short break. We'll remind you first that next week on the 16th, they have an indoor farmers market 4 to 6. And then the coffee crawl, this is the part I wanted to get to. This is the part everybody waits for. The coffee crawl starts on the 19th, and it goes to the 25th. So it's that whole week where you get a chance to go out and pay $1 for a coffee. And then you get to tell everybody, you get to register your favorite coffee. We count them all up later, and somebody gets the bragging rights for Leominster's best coffee. We're taking a break right now, short one, and we'll be right back. go. And we're back here at Inside Leominster, 978-534-1626, the 136th Rose Bowl Parade in Pasadena, California, New Year's Day. And lots of people here in Leominster were watching. In fact, I don't know how many people watch, millions they said, but I would say a good deal of those people at that very moment were waiting. And it was like all this back and forth sharing of information, like, do you know what time? What am I looking for? That's my nephew or my kid. It was a whole lot of that as the lead up. So by the time they actually got to the parade, everyone was glued to the parade. And Bob Bergeron was there for the New England honor band. And I got to be honest with you. So that first time up at the high school, I knew it was a big deal. I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought it was a big deal. And I was prepared. I'm like, oh, well, this is pretty cool. But I got to say, this was much more, even more impressive. I want to make sure I use the right words than I ever could have thought. Because for a number of reasons. One is the music was perfect. Two, to get all of those musicians to play from all over New England so well, everyone was in step. That's three. And number four, you represented the whole country.
Yeah.
This was the introduction to the 250th birthday of America.
Yeah.
You guys did it. You
nailed the theme.
officially were the grand entrance for the beginning
100%.
of the anniversary, which is like this really big deal around the country.
Yeah. And it all started right here in New England.
Yes.
This is
So it was very appropriate.
Yeah. So, as you said, we had kids from all over New England. We had about 4 rehearsals total. We had 1 out here and about 3 out in Pasadena. And
It looked from, I mean, you may have saw somebody step somewhere. You know, maybe they misstepped and they had to catch up. It looked flawless from the TV set.
well, thank you for that.
Why don't you introduce our other guests? Because we've got 2 people actually in it. All 3 of you were in it.
I've already been introduced. My name is Robert Bergeron, and I was the assistant director for the honor band, and I'm also the band director here for Leominster High School.
Right.
And to my right,
my name is Evan Zumwalt. I was a cymbal player in the New England Honor Band, and I have the pleasure of marching in the high school marching band as well.
yeah.
And then I'm Alex Townsend. I was in the color guard for the Rose Parade, and I'm also in the color guard at the Leominster High School.
And the color guard was outstanding. So were there other students from other schools?
Oh, yeah.
So you had to, I mean, you guys nailed it. That's pretty tough. Only 4 times to be with so many students from so many different schools.
One of the tricky parts is
you got to have the right vibe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With the other students.
One of the tricky parts is we all do things a little different.
That's what I mean.
You know, so we had 25 students from LHS there, but we had another 11 students from Fitchburg. And then just going from there, we had students from Bourne, we had students from Connecticut, we had students from all over New England. That was the point. And when you have that diverse of a group, everyone does things a little bit differently.
Of course they do.
Some people hold their feet like this, some people do it
Yeah.
like this, and we had 4 days to make this look like one cohesive group.
And it worked.
And it worked.
It
Yeah.
was bad. Like, nailed it. Perfect.
So,
I mean, I watched that over and over and over. And then there were a lot of parents that were there who also, I don't know where they got their video, if they did it themselves or if they got it through another feed. But it was like, I couldn't believe what good. I mean, talk about almost like you're there.
yeah.
Like that video was like almost like you're there.
Yeah, that video took place about, I'd say 3/4 of a mile into the parade route.
Oh, so you're just getting going.
It's just getting going. We were-
5.5 miles.
Yep.
5.5
Yeah, but you're all
miles.
pumped up from the crowd, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have no shoes on and still make it because you're pumped up from the crowd, right?
Now, when we do parades here in Mass, like the Johnny Appleseed parade that we just did, or we're known for doing the Quincy Christmas parade too.
And the mayor said you were great, by the way.
Awesome.
I talked to Mayor Koch last month. Well, no, after the parade. So yeah, the beginning of the end of December is when I saw it.
Yeah. So we're known for doing those types of parades. And the thing with that parade is we'll get stretches where it's like 5 or 6 people and we'll just do taps on the drums and not necessarily blow our chops out. This is just hundreds
Wall-to-wall people.
of thousands of people the entire time.
Well, people save their money and plan a trip like you did, but I mean, plan a trip. This is like a big deal for people to go. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I've always wanted to like go to that Thanksgiving Day parade, and I've had friends that have been there and all that.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, it doesn't always turn out, the weather isn't always good.
No.
But chances are when you go to the Pasadena, chances are the weather's going to be half decent when you get there.
The weather's pretty much always great there.
Yeah.
It was kind of surprising because the week leading up to that, we got there and we're rehearsing, and it was cloudy and it was pretty smoggy there.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were rehearsing at the colleges there, and the day of the parade, it was
Just popped.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
sunny.
What was the
entire
temperature?
day. Oh, it was probably mid-60s.
Oh,
70s.
It was the very end of the parade. It started to creep close to the 80s, and everyone started to feel the heat.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, you got a lot of clothes on.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so total number of people carrying the flag, everybody, students, directors, how many people were part of that?
So on the parade route itself, we had about, I would guess, with the flags, banners, directors, and the band proper, we probably had about 95 people
I was going to say 100
in the
people.
block.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is, I like the poetry and things. And Fitchburg marched in this parade.
I know, 1960.
1962, and I got some pictures of it right
you
here.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. One of our substitute teachers at the high school brought this in the other day, Mr. Ward, and he was in the parade in 1962.
Wow.
And he's got a great picture of the band then, and check that out. That is the band in 1962.
Wow, that's
And
a great picture.
What I find remarkable is how the numbers are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
We got the same amount of tubas, we got the same amount of baritones, same amount of trumpets. It's almost the exact same size.
I know nobody can see it. It's got gloss, but there's the picture of the band.
So it's kind of like history repeating itself. But in this sense, now we all know that Fitchburg and Leominster have a history together.
Yeah, of course.
It's if anyone who is a fan of college football, it's like Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, of course.
But
Army, Navy.
right, but bands always find a way to come together. And we had 25 of our kids, 11 of their kids, and then kids from everywhere else. And it was really nice to collaborate with Tabitha and bring the two groups together.
Oh, well,
So-
that's a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
so, tell me, I saw a lot of pictures while you were while you're out there, sort of, and it looks like everybody was having fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, get back to work. But it looks like there was a lot of.
Yeah.
Was that pre-orchestrated? I mean, did somebody
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of set that all
We
up?
planned that all out. So, you guys want to talk about some of that stuff?
Yeah.
What did you get to do?
We walked down Hollywood Boulevard. We obviously went and performed at Disneyland, as well as spent the day
Wow.
there. And then we went to the
Was it
Santa
packed?
Monica.
Was Disneyland packed?
Yeah, it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
yeah.
We were expecting it to be like one of the worst days. We went on the 31st.
Yeah. So everybody was there.
So everybody,
Yeah.
it was crowded. And then we went to Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, wow.
One of the days after our practices.
It looks like everybody was
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a blast.
And did you saw the clip? I mean, you just saw the clip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And did you guys look at it and go, hey, that's us?
Yeah.
Wow, they're pretty good. Wait a minute, that's us.
Yeah. I myself have seen like every possible angle that I could have seen it at. I've watched the KTLA clips, I've seen the Fox clips, and we were represented really
Yeah.
well. So.
Some people, I don't know what they were watching, but while this was all going, they said, oh, apparently somebody went to break.
ABC. Yeah, ABC went to break.
And I'm like, well, what was that all about? Don't you know who we are?
Right.
You went to break. And I'm thinking, and I was watching it streaming. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's seamless. I could see the whole thing. They
Yeah.
gave us plenty of time.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful trip. Everyone had the time of I'm going to remember this trip for the rest of my
Oh,
life.
I'm sure.
Same.
Now,
How do you beat that?
Right.
I mean,
You
you know.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to make sure we get this said before we're done here. I got to address the elephant in the room, and that is my heart goes out to everyone in Southern California right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's not pretty. I've seen a tornado, I've seen flooding, obviously, I've seen hurricane. Fire is something I'm definitely afraid of.
Right.
Yeah.
That is unimaginable to me. I
Yeah.
can't comprehend, other than dragging brush into a big pile, or
Right.
the fires that we've had here. We've had a few good-sized forest fires,
Yeah.
but nothing that the heat of the fire just engulfs something
Right.
a quarter of a mile ahead of it. That's unimaginable.
You mentioned you've always wanted to get out to New York for the parade. The special part, Macy's parade is phenomenal, but the special part about the Rose Parade is that there are only 35 people who are paid, who run that parade. Outside of that, it's thousands of volunteers.
Right.
And they were the kindest people that I've ever worked with. They made us feel like family. And I just want those people to know that they are in my heart and prayers right now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We
what's
got
going
friends
on
and
there.
family back there right now.
Oh, it's
and
endless. I get texts. I didn't even know people that were out there like, oh, yeah, it's really bad out here.
Yeah.
In fact, tomorrow morning, we're going to try to bring somebody on our morning briefing.
Yeah.
When the first day, we had a guest here, the first day that Israel was attacked, a friend of mine had met up, he travels a lot, he had met up somebody and they said, oh, yeah, you know, hey, listen, we'll get together on such and such a date. He arrived there that day.
No.
And he gets into the city, and as he gets into the city, like all these air raid things start going off. He ends up in a fallout shelter, and he just got there. I mean, he had no idea any of this stuff is happening. He just shows up, and back in October. We ended up getting him on live one of the mornings, and then he came on the show to talk about it. But tomorrow, hopefully, we can get somebody. But there are a lot of people from here who have connections. I didn't realize how many people.
Yeah,
and
we just spent a whole week making connections out there.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for the time that we had there. But and I mean, I can speaking for myself. I had the time of my life.
Yeah.
And I know I
it
saw
was
on
an
their
experience.
faces that you guys had a blast.
Yeah.
But
that's something forever. I mean, as some of us adults have never gotten those experiences. So that's like, you're like rock stars. Did you sign autographs or anything? So take me up to it. Let's do some. It's only 4:25, so we've got a little bit of time. And our phone number, if you want to ask a question or anything, is 978-534-1626. And I know people that have been to the Macy's, and they're like, yeah, you got to get up at like 2 in the morning, and they get on a bus. And they're miles. Their hotel room was like miles outside of New York City. In fact, you should just stay in Leominster for the night, because they're like, it's actually would be easier to drive from here to there on the bus than to get picked up and get. And then there's all this logistics of people who show up. So what's the behind the scenes? What time did you have to get up that day?
We had to
This
get
is
up.
California.
Oh yeah, we had to get up at, I believe, 4:30 was the time, and then we were meeting people by like 5:30 to get on the buses and head out, and it was. Like,
Were you all dressed up at that point?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We
So
had
you
full
had
uniforms.
so you had to get up earlier than 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I remember that day I was up at 3:30.
My room was up at 3.
3.
We were up early.
Just pumped up.
Yeah, there were a couple of us in like color guard, so we had to do like the show, like hair and makeup and stuff. So we had to get up really
You couldn't just
early.
get up and do a quick little fluff there,
And then-
brush your teeth and head out.
some of the more
The
technical.
world is watching here.
Some of the more technical logistics, which I find really interesting, is so the other assistant director, Rod Miller, he submitted his phone number, and they track us. The tournament actually tracks us that morning.
Oh, they want to know
so
where you
when
are.
we leave our hotel, they know where to send a police escort to clear the highway for us so we can get there on time. And they give us a very specific time that we need to leave, so we get in line at the right time, so the band behind us doesn't get there too early or get there too late. So there's someone with
Because
a
they got to
computer
line you
somewhere.
up. They don't want
and
people
they-
showing up that are at the beginning and have them at the end. Now, how do you get them
The
through,
amazing
right?
point is they line us up. It's not like they just have everybody get off the bus and then they sort us out. They line us up by our buses. And I remember once we got off the highway, it was a stream. I counted 8 buses in front of ours, all going down the road with police motorcycles on either side, stopping all the traffic, and it was just a straight shot until we got to the bridge, and you all got out, and right there,
Somebody
you
was
were
there.
in line. Yep.
A division person was there, dressed up.
Yep. They all,
Follow us.
everybody, all
Come
the
with
ones.
us.
Yep.
So very organized. The
Very
136th
organized.
time they've got this thing down pat.
Yeah, and then you get we're standing on a bridge waiting over an overpass, and someone points out in the distance, you can just see the stealth bomber just circling in the distance.
flyover.
And it
Ready
was
to- ready to-
right on cue at 8:02 to do its flyby.
Just like bang.
And
Yeah.
underneath that overpass that we were positioned on, they shut down the highway underneath the bridge, and it's for all the horse units and all the equestrian units are stationed and standard there.
Wow. So everybody knows to stay away. Don't be trying to get down that highway. Hey, if you just joined us, these are 2 students and one of the directors of the New England Honor Band, and they got to be in the 136 Rose Bowl parade, and back in January 1st to kick off the new year. And as I said, not only that was the first official act anywhere in the country that says, I mean, even play Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yeah.
And the two songs just one flew right into the other seamlessly.
Yep.
And it's a big year. Last year on Patriots Day, obviously a big thing at Concord and Lexington and all that, but they were already practicing the reenactment. They were in Arlington on Mass Ave doing a complete reenactment. And this was in preparation for this year. So this is how much is happening behind the scenes. It's like this big thing. You have a committee. We have an authorized flag now that's, the certified, authorized 250th anniversary flag. There's shirts and logos. And it's a big thing. You guys did it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you realize that? I'm like,
I'm so
wow,
glad
look
that
at
our theme came across.
it sure
that's
did.
Exactly the message
They did. I mean, the commentators. But I knew it because I get all the information from the committee.
Yeah.
We've donated money from our business, so we get these like newsletters and tell us about the 250th. And I should have wrote in early and said, hey, guess what? But I didn't realize it was going to be that much of a spectacular. I just didn't realize it. I didn't know you'd have the Betsy Ross flag and all that.
That Betsy Ross flag was heavy. I got to pick it up at one point. It was like a 150-pound flag.
Yeah, they're huge.
So it was huge.
Tricorn hats.
Yeah,
the hats, everything. I mean,
we brought the tricolor.
God,
look at that. Oh, they gave them to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got to keep our entire
What's
uniforms.
funny is
Wow, this is heavy.
Right?
This is like the real McCoy.
Yeah,
these things cost a lot of money.
Wearing them down the parade route, they get pretty warm too.
These things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
These are probably over $100 a piece, if not more.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
That's amazing. And you had everything was red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Imagine you guys made double history.
Yeah.
You kicked it off.
Yeah.
So what's it like walking the 5.5 miles? I mean, were you prepared for that?
Yeah, I was told I should be preparing more coming up to it, but I did not. I felt less tired than I thought I was going to be. It was less exhausting than I think it should have been, and I think that's due to adrenaline. But
Good
it was,
sleeping on the bus after.
Yeah.
What happens after when
so
it ends?
you end the
what
parade
happens?
and you go back to your buses, take off your uniform.
Does somebody at the end meet you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
And then
the whole way.
us.
The whole way.
Somebody's with you.
Yeah, you guys, your buses are over there, so you go take off your uniforms, and then you get in this line for In-N-Out Burger,
It's free.
and it's for all the bands.
Yeah.
They give them an In-N-Out, and it's 6 18-wheeler tractor trailer In-N-Out Burger trucks. Wow. And it was incredible to see. They take up a whole parking lot, and it's this line that snakes around the parking lot to get to the trucks. And everybody's happy. They're all everybody's
talking to each other.
Yeah, they all greet you. All the In-N-Out staff were amazing. Give you 2 burgers, an orange, chips, everything. Yeah.
Cape Cod chips specifically.
Yeah.
Wow, see?
Yeah.
We're styling.
so
we're representing here in Massachusetts. So they meet you right at the end and they take you over. Your bus that you had at the end is now in the front somewhere. So they've got that staged. So
And the other thing at the end, which is an interesting fun fact, it's a physical feat to do this parade. Yeah. And if you have to drop...
Some people carrying some heavy
Right.
instruments.
So if you have to drop out for any point, what happens is the American Red Cross is stationed there, and they'll throw you in a van, and there's no hopping back in. When you're out, you're out. Yeah. So they drive you to the end, they bring you to the end of the parade, and then the directors have to claim you at the end, like, this student is mine. What's crazy is, as far as I know, we are one of the only student groups in the last few years where 100% of the band made it across the finish line. Yep. There were a couple kids were at the last quarter mile, and we were almost there.
And let me tell you, some of those instruments are heavy.
Yeah.
The drums and everything, that's heavy.
Yeah.
And 5.5 miles of that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's
but
a
who
lot.
wants to be the person that, like Roger Clemens, right?
Yeah.
He just stick it out right to the end, but who wants to be the person that drops out, right?
Yeah, and then to speak a little bit about the music, because you keep on bringing up Yankee Doodle.
Yeah.
And, so Lisa Gavin, who is a phenomenal music arranger, arranged us that music specifically for us. And then along the parade route, we also played... I got to write a tune for the band. I did Auld Lang Syne mixed with Shipping Off to Boston.
Wow.
And then we also played another patriotic medley. And then a couple times we stopped because of just traffic in the parade, floats trying to make it the corner or something. And we played Sweet Caroline a couple times.
Wow. So you really pumped up.
Yeah.
You pumped up Leominster.
We were trying to pump up New England as much as we could.
Well, I mean, you got a couple members of the Dropkick Murphys that are from
Yeah,
Leominster.
that was kind of my thought with
Yeah,
the
you were
Dropkick Murphys.
representing. Yeah, we were just dropping all kinds of
Yeah.
connections here. So this the stories behind the stories.
Yeah.
is really what it was.
Yeah, and then that was part of the inspiration behind picking Chippin off the bus. And I'm not gonna lie, was the Dropkick Murphys tie back to Leominster.
Yeah, that's pretty
So,
cool.
Yeah.
By the way, if it's anybody, I know that's going to come up on that season pretty quick, and they'll start advertising. If and I don't care what age you are, if you haven't been to a Dropkick Murphys concert, you gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
It is an experience from the second you begin. Just like the when you just walking in with the crowd.
Yeah.
Then being there pre-concert, then the concert, and then it is a different experience. I've been to all kinds of concerts. I've been to plenty of concerts. It is an experience beyond, and the music's great.
If they're from right here, we got to get them for the Johnny Appleseed Festival.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person that asks, like, hey, so what's it cost to get them? Because this may be the year. I'm
Right.
not sure, but this may be the year that it is back to Steve Ciccolini and others when I said we have a lot of musicians in this town of every age who some have made it big time. And we're starting to lose them one by one. I said, we need to do either a week-long series or a concert that that brings them all out.
Yeah.
That gets everybody out. And so that behind the scenes, I'm thinking, that's not, I think, busy season for Dropkick. If it was like summertime, I said, can we pull this off? So 2025 might be the year.
Okay.
It might be the year. I'm close on pulling the trigger on that one to say yes, it's going to happen. But there's again a lot of logistics, and you need a lot of help. And
Well, the band knows how to play the song now, so.
So there you go. Well, anyway, we got a call. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nilo, everyone.
Hi, Crystal. Did you get to see them?
Hi.
Did you get to watch them on TV?
That's so cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Very cool.
Everyone at the campfire is doing good.
Yes.
I just want to let you know we're having a Lynn's retirement party at Singapore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I haven't been to Singapore a long time. I don't know why. I haven't been to a lot of places in a long. It's been too busy.
Yeah.
It's been too busy, Crystal.
Yeah, Lynn Richards is an awesome lady.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's retiring?
Yeah, she just retired, yeah.
Oh, she did retire.
And now Mike Owen is going to retire now.
We started working at the Victory Markets
part-time.
the same time. That was like a long time ago. We were kids.
Yeah.
And she just retired. Good for Lynn. Lynn's the best.
That message to her.
Yes, Lynn, congratulations.
Is there anything I wanted to tell Mark?
Yeah, tell Mark I need to chat with him.
Okay.
When it's like a Tuesday, when it's not so busy at the Hannaford.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. All right, well, thank you. That was. You want to show that again? Can you guys show that again? For anybody that just joined us, this is the New England Honor Band that went to Pasadena and marched in the Rose Parade on the 1st of January, 2025. And so we'll show it again for anybody that people jump in and out here on this, or sometimes they watch it on Facebook. Oh yeah, it's taking off on me, huh? They don't give much slack.
The front left, the red, or on the banner? That's Christina Looney.
Watch. Or her Fitbit or something. I don't know what she was checking, but I'm like, what do you got, an appointment?
So, the gentleman right here in the front, who's off to the left right now,
Yeah.
that's John Waters. He's the current band director for Bowling Green University.
Wow.
They have a remarkable 430-person marching band this year. So he's also the director of the band directors band, which is how I made that connection with him. And he was gracious enough to help take on this project and lead the charge a little bit, and I was honored to assist him.
Sound awesome.
Yeah.
Look at all the flags. Everything is like cute. Did you pick up on that? I mean, did you feel like everybody was in sync?
It felt like it. I was nervous that we weren't, but like I had the most faith that we were, and it looked really
Right,
good.
you don't see it the way we do.
Sam, the girl off to the side in the suit. We were all wearing matching suits.
Yeah.
But Sam, right there, in front of that camera, right there, she was our color guard instructor, and she did a phenomenal job
Oh,
with
she was
4 rehearsals.
She was amazing, and she actually like was able to help us and like accommodate to us when we were like, hey, we don't know if we can do this exactly, but she was able to find a way to get us to do it to like the best of our abilities.
You did it.
It was
You were
amazing.
synchronized.
And then one of the baritone players and one of the tuba players, I've made good friends with them. They're Annabelle Daly and Sophia from UMass Amherst, and they just marched in the Macy's Parade.
Really?
So now they've marched in the 2 biggest parades in the world.
Wow.
Only
That's
a
an
couple months apart from
accomplishment.
each other.
There you are.
There I am.
Signing autographs.
Waving,
Look at that.
waving to people.
He's waving.
And
Almost
Look at
like
it.
just by a scooter.
Mention those scooters. If you drop out, they put you on the back of one of those scooters and take you to the end of the parade.
Yeah, they take you to a van that's close by, but yeah, you'd hop on the scooter.
There's a lot of space between you and the group in front of you, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that's deliberate because you don't want band music. If somebody's singing on a float, you don't want to be playing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Right.
And
There
James
was-
Cagney runs out and says, hey, what's going on?
It's funny you say that. The band that was behind us, there was a float and then another band behind us. I believe.
There you go. All right, we're out of time.
There we go.
Look at that.
Oh, well.
Well, thank you. That was great. We're going to take a short break. Can we do a short break? And then we'll de-mic them. And thank you. And that was, it was exciting.
Yeah.
I can just
Thank you
tell
for
you
having
from
us.
a
Great
standpoint, we were telling
Yep.
everybody was sharing it on social media, and people that don't live here anymore knew
Yeah.
about it, and they were watching, and the word got around. It started spreading a couple days right after Christmas. It started to just,
Yeah.
and you had to go out early, right? You were there for Christmas,
Well,
right?
my family, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law live in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
So I went out there for Christmas, spent a couple days with them, and then I shifted gears and went into band director mode a couple days later. So
Yeah, we were flying out there the day after Christmas.
yeah.
Pretty cool. It's like rock stars. They're flying out. We flew out. We had
It
to
was
fly
awesome.
out to L.A.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking a short break, and we'll be right back here at Inside Leominster, 978-534-1626.
Hey there, my name is Sandy Palekia, and I am the owner-manager of Play It Again Sports in Leominster, Mass. First few years were, as any new business owner, interesting to get through, things you need to learn and things you need to get better at. We've done both. We've learned a lot of buying cycles and customer needs and what we're able to offer to the community and to our customer. So fortunately, we've done a lot better from then until now. The thing that I love most about this job, and I think that all of my associates and members, staff members would agree, is helping that little child, the one that walks through the door and he or she is about 3 years old, maybe 5 years old. They're excited to start their new sport. The mom or dad comes in with a piece of paper and says, how can you help? I don't really know what I need. And then we spend as much time as we can with that little individual, getting them all the things that they need. And then they're excited. Sometimes they even want to leave their equipment on as they walk out the door, which is totally fine. We all love helping that little new beginner develop their sport. The thing that we get most out of providing sports equipment to the people of Leominster is the used factor. Not a lot of sports stores around here or in the local area are able to provide used to their customers. We have customers who come in year after year after year. Their children are growing and they really need to provide low cost, high quality merchandise to their kids frequently because those kids are growing so often. They don't want to be paying so much in top prices year after year. So the best thing is for us to be able to provide all sizes at a low cost, new and used, throughout the child's lifetime. So why we chose Leominster for Play It Again Sports is one thing is that this establishment was here. It's been here for over, I'd say, 35 years. So it's great to have existing customers. The customers know you're here. So we kind of walked into it and made it our own. Additionally, we are both, my husband and I, are residents of Leominster. He's lived here all of his life, and I've lived here for almost 20 years now. So we do enjoy Leominster a lot.
And we're back here at Inside Leominster. And yes, I'll tell you, I don't know if you've been through these, these sports places and looked at the cost of anything. I was just in one 2 nights ago. And I couldn't believe it. And you go to play it against sports. In fact, I'm going to get on it because I have new skates, but I wasn't happy with them. They're pretty expensive, but they're more hockey skates. And I got them 3 or 4 years ago when we started, doing the ice downtown. And so I'm going to try to find some. So I'm going to go to Play It Against Sports, maybe tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow, see if I can find another pair of skates that I'm a little more comfortable in. And oh, by the way, we have ice, We have ice downtown. In fact, on my way here, there were kids starting to show up and families starting to show up. And the ice rink is bigger by at least 2 times what it was 2-3 years ago. We haven't had ice. We set it up, but we haven't had real ice in years. And here we are. It's a perfect time. And DPW just did a great job down there. And I'm telling you, I guarantee when I go back through there tonight, it's going to be packed with people. So it's open now, and we'll let people know if you get a warm day and it starts to get a little watery or whatever, and we have to pour some water on it to flatten it out. We'll let you know. But for now, from here on through the weekend, it's open, and we'll certainly keep maintaining it. There's a Social Security information session coming up next week. That's on the 15th. It's from 7 to 8:15, and it's at the public library. And they're going to tell you all about things you didn't know about your Social Security and benefits of Social Security. Should you retire? At what age should you retire? What happens if somebody passes away? Can you collect on their retirement? All of that and more. Blood drive is coming up. Give blood and you will help patients live. Thursday, June 23rd, 9 to 2:30. Call the health department. They'll give you more information and get you signed up. We're building a new school. Yes, we are. We're building a new Fallbrook school, and then we're going to tear the old one down. And we have a public session to explain all of this to you coming up on January 30th at 6 p.m. at Fallbrook School. Wit's coming up. You know what Wit is? You know what Wit is? Wit's a play. It's a play by Margaret Edson. And the theater group that's going to be performing it is called City on a Hill Arts. And they're from like the Ashburnham area. They've been around for 10 years, but they have an actual physical location now that they'll be using. It's the Congregation of Good Akeem, 268 Washington Street, and they'll be doing and they don't charge. They'll take a donation, but they will not charge for tickets. February 1st, 2nd, 6th, and 8th. We had the inauguration the other night. We kept it informal. We kept it, we were maybe an hour. I think we didn't start till 6:05 and we got done like 7:05, 7:08. So it was the shortest of all. And we've just realized that you can ask people for their attention and for participation and engagement for about an hour. And then after that, it's just not fair to expect that, just like everybody keeps saying, you gotta go see The Wizard of Oz, the Oz. And it's 3 hours. I don't know they can sit there for 3 hours. Anyway, curbside yard collection, if we're going to start that in April, we'll let you know more about that. But if you have a Christmas tree and you want it picked up, don't cut it in half. Don't put it in a bag. Don't do anything. Just put it outside. If it's a real tree, somehow or another, you got to kind of bend and twist it. I'm sorry. That's for a real tree. If you have an artificial tree, you got to kind of break it up, I guess, saw it up or whatever, get it into the regular trash totes, and we'll take it, all right? And this goes to the end of the month. Hey, kids, if you're co-ed, boys, girls, Osowski Youth Basketball Leagues are forming now, and we also have youth basketball leagues forming as well, and these programs start very soon. They start in just about another week. So give the rec department a call, or you can go to leominsterma.myrec.com. Prospect Park, they're doing construction there, so the park is closed. We've had some people call and say, geez, I went down, it's closed. Yep, we're doing construction. If you want to leave your leaves and yard waste, maybe the wind is taking some branches down, you want to cut those branches up and bring them to the yard waste collection site. It's now located across from Walmart, 22 Jungle Road, and we're there Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, I believe 8 to 12, yep. And And let's see, it's happening in Leominster. This is our newsletter that comes out every month. Tells you a little bit about things that happened last month, but mostly what's happening this month. If you like a print copy, and I love them, we have them at City Hall. And you can also join the Facebook page, It's Happening in Leominster, and that's exactly what will happen. You'll find out exactly what's happening right here in Leominster. All right, 1,887 is the number of people that tested positive around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the last 7 days. 11 here in Leominster, 10 deaths, 1 is too many. I bet you guys didn't know that today is National Apricot Day. Did you know that? Cool. National Faith Day. How about National Law Enforcement Day? We thank all of those in whatever branch, in whatever capacity you serve, we thank you. It's National Word Nerd Day. Is anybody a nerd word back there? You are a word nerd? Tara is a word nerd. And I don't mean that in what, she's just very smart and intelligent, and she knows the words. And I'm like Joe Pesci, and, you know, I'm like, in, what was the movie there when he represents? He's the lawyer. What was it? What was it? Go ahead. You know what it is. Joe Pesci. He represents my cousin Vinny. I'm more of a non-word nerd, and she's more of a word nerd. She not only knows what the word means, she knows the origin of the word. You know, you ever watch those kids in the spelling bee? Could you tell me the word of origin? What? What do you mean the word of origin? Could you say it in a sentence? I'm like, you lost me a long time ago. It's also Static Electricity Day. That would be me. I'm the person that is always filled with static electricity. Did you know in 1959 that TV Western Rawhide with Clint Eastwood premieres on CBS TV? 1967, Ringo Starr does Oh My My. Oh My My, Oh My My. 1984, TV Bloopers and Practical Jokes hits the airwaves. Van Halen in 1984 releases their most successful album in 1984. Was that the name of it? 1986, after losing a patent battle with Polaroid and Kodak, must give up its instant camera business. Who in the world still was running around with an instant camera in 1986? A lot of people. Now they're back. You can buy an instant camera now. They kind of caught on. I think Walmart and some stores sell them, and it's got the little film and stuff. But they're having a big war. Little did they know that the phone. They should have been paying attention to the phone. Instead, they were fooling around. You're stealing our ideas. Yeah, well, guess what? Somebody's making a phone that takes pictures better than you could ever think about. And you can save them, and you can share them, and everything. You can actually, if you don't like the way that it looks, you can clean them up, right? You can edit them. And 1995, worker accidentally cuts electricity wires at Newark Airport. Boy, that must have been a surprise. And 2007, Apple CEO Steve Jobs announces the iPhone. See, it only happened a couple years after. And 2024, St. Paul, Minnesota becomes the first large United States city to swear in an all-female city council with 6 out of 7 women of color, and all of them under the age of 40 years old. Hey, do we have pictures today? Those are some of the things that we're working on, different grants and opportunities. There we are, organ donation event, and it was really good. Some of those people were actually gave organs. Some to people they didn't even know. Some of those people in that picture were receivers of organs. Now think what an amazing thing. You're running out of time, your heart's not functioning, kidneys aren't functioning, and there you are. Let me go back one. And there you are, and you need a kidney, right? You need an organ. And, you know, somewhere along the line, somebody might not need theirs. Something happens, there's an accident, something happens, and you want to become an organ donor. You can do that right through the Registry of Motor Vehicles. Hey, the Department of Children and Family Services, they had a giving tree, and every single one of those gifts that kids asked for was purchased and given to those kids for the holiday season. Their Shoalin Farms presented a check. And we presented a check because it was a tough year last year, a very tough year. And they worked so hard. It's mostly volunteers. And we want to really give them a boost for the next year. And let's hope there's no frost. We had a department head meeting up at the 210 Lancaster Street. And once a year, we all get together. And And we don't talk business at all, but just for an hour or so, we sit down and have breakfast and thank everybody for their hard work. The Material Girls, this is a serious organization, let me tell you. Those ladies with those sewing machines, they are talent worth reckoning with. So the Material Girls Quilt Group had their Christmas party, and I wonder if they make all their own clothes. And I see the quilts they make, and they're absolutely beautiful. And Sands of the Time Fuel Assistance Donation, we thank them. There's an organization as part of the Odd Fellows and the, what's the other organization? Anyway, it's a separate organization, and wonderful. Thank you so much for their donation. And then we had the inauguration. We had the honor guard, which looked exceptionally sharp. We had we kept it down, Rock Voices. So Rock Voices is a group of people. This is not supposed to be expert singers. They meet on Mondays at City Hall, and whatever level of voice you have, you show up. They have a lot of fun. They are a fun group of people. They're the kind of people that you want to go on a bus trip with, you know? They're just fun people, and they sound good. Sounded awesome. And thank you to Chris Kilver and Barry Lorian from MassDOT. There they are on the right-hand side. They stood and we recognized them. And let me just tell you, MassDOT did a phenomenal job out here during the storm. And every day I come to appreciate it even more. And then we had the inaugural chorus on the left, and they sang a song, Old Lang Syne, and did a beautiful job. And they only rehearsed once. So we had a really nice night. We got a lot done in a short amount of time. And on the left-hand side is Matt Hooley, as they call him. He got the Community Service Award. He gives so much time to all the different sporting groups, whether it's bringing fruit and an orange juice, and helping them set up and get organized. And those kids just love him, and they appreciate him. On my right is Al Farr. Al is a Vietnam veteran. In his retirement, he lives in the downtown area. He comes around to all the business and collects all our cans, and then he turns them in, and all the money goes to St. Jude's, every single penny. And he's out there every single day of the week. I don't care what day. This morning, he was out at my cafe. Middle of Christmas Day, he's out there. Every day he's out there. And then last but not least, right at the bottom there, is Rick Voltor, and he got the Jim Lanciani Award. And that's probably one of the most prestigious awards we give out every year is the Jim Lanciani Award. Rick Voltor, 27 years as the Marine, 20 years here in the city as a Veterans Director, and I could not have asked for a better director. And the City of Leominster has had excellent, one better than the other. We always think, can this person fill the shoes of the last person? And they did, and we have a new director, and I'm sure he'll do the same. And we were at Let's Play, and it's right behind 435 Lancaster Street. We got to go down and do the film, take some film. We did this on Saturday because they had a tournament, and it's a pickleball, indoor pickleball. So we got to get that on the list and get down there and do an official ribbon cutting. But what an investment they made, and what a great resource. Val Hauser, I give you A+ for the build out of that location. The rink is ready, thanks to the DPW for helping it make it happen, and they did such a nice job. The rink is a lot bigger, so it'll fit a lot more kids. And congratulations to our guests tonight, the New England Honor Band, and they certainly did honor all of us. We're today honoring President Carter for his work with the Habitat for Humanity, and we had a door set up at City Hall where he could, where everybody could come and sign. And we had this at 10 o'clock while they had the funeral, and nice crowd. They gave us some T-shirts, and everybody got to sign the door, and it will be installed in the newest of the Habitat for Humanity homes. Just about a minute left, and I just wanted to thank everybody for watching, and our crew for coming out on a cold, blustery. We did take a couple of weeks off, just so, you know, there's people in my office that help get ready for this, and then there's information that gets sent down to Scott, and then they have to take it and get it ready for the show, and then the behind-the-scenes logistics of the show that happens, and getting the guest here and setting them up, welcoming at the door, and then setting them up inside, getting them all mic'd up, getting me ready. There's a lot of preparation that goes into these shows, so we gave everybody a couple of weeks off to kind of rest and warm up. But here we are, and it's 20 below zero with wind chills. But they're still out here. And it makes me think this. I'm appreciative of one thing. We used to do this show from 6:30 to 7:30. And I was thinking tonight how it felt leaving in the middle of a snowstorm or when it was really cold and you're leaving here at 7:30 at night. By the time we left, it was like 8. And I'm thinking, it's a lot better to leave at 5. In fact, it's starting to get lighter and lighter out, which makes it feel better. And friends from all over telling me about how they got snow down south and it was cold. And I said, it's cold here and it's windy here, but we don't have any snow, but we got ice. Thanks for watching Inside Leominster. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. Thanks for showing up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank, create success, enterprisebanking.com.
This is LTV.